and Vyasa appeared. She told Vyasa, "You are my son. You should not say no to whatever I ask of you. I have never asked anything from you till date, but now what I ask, you should not say no." Vyasa bowed down and said, "Whatever you say, mother." She said, "You must father children from these two young queens. I want my blood to flow in the Kuru lineage. You are the only one left. I know you are a sage, I know you're an ascetic, but this one thing you have to do for me." Vyasa unhesitatingly said, "Yes, mother, whatever you want." So it was set up. She somehow tried to convince the young queens. They said, "No way." But she compelled them. She said, "You cannot say no." She's the queen mother. She said, "Whatever I say is an order, it's not a request." So she told Vyasa to go to Ambika first. So Vyasa went in to Ambika's quarter. Ambika looked at Vyasa. He's just straight out of the jungle, dreadlocked, very dark, burnt out in the sun, and he had a flat nose and looked like a very fierce man. When she saw him, out of sheer dread, she closed her eyes and Vyasa impregnated her. But because she closed her eyes, a child was born that was blind. Once again Satyavati, frustrated because she can't make a blind man into a king, she said, "You must go back to Ambika." Ambika was not ready. She said, "Not once again." So that night when Vyasa came, she arranged for a maidservant to be in her bed. Vyasa came and slept with the maidservant and went. Out of this Vidura was born. When Satyavati realized that it was the maidservant and not the queen, she went into a rage. Now he cannot be the king because the child has to come from the queen. Then she compelled the younger queen, Ambalika, to go with Vyasa. She saw Vyasa. Out of fear, she was told not to close her eyes. She just looked at him, the way he was. Out of fear, she just paled out. And Pandu was born, an albino, pale of skin. But he became a fine young man. But in those days, an albino was kind of inauspicious, that he was strange. But still, he became a great warrior, but they couldn't make him a king because at that time they thought an albino has a skin disease. A man who has a disease cannot become a king. So they made the blind man the king. Dhritarashtra became the king, but Pandu managed everything. He fought the battles, he made the empire much bigger, he managed everything. Dhritarashtra was a namesake king. A blind man became the king. In every way blind not just blind of vision, in every way he was blind to many, many things which he will display later. Vidura, born of the maid, grew up into a fine young man, a very intelligent and wise being, well-versed in Shastras, well-versed in the Vedas, well-versed in the political system, but not a warrior, because the art of fighting was taught only to the Kshatriya. He was not eligible to learn from Bhishma, so he learnt all the other things, but he never became a warrior. Pandu became a great warrior, but he cannot become a king because He's an albino and people think he has a skin ailment. Dhritarashtra married Gandhari, the princess of Gandhara. They did not tell her that her future husband is going to be blind. She was a little depreciated bride because it was written in her horoscope, whoever marries her will die within 3 months. Because of this horoscope, nobody would marry her. Because of that, they got her married to a goat and sacrificed the goat. But still, legally, it was a marriage and she was a widow. So she came to Hastinapur to marry Dhritarashtra, a blind man. When she realized that she is marrying a blind man, she took a vow, if my husband cannot see, I don't want to enjoy the world with my eyes. And strapped her eyes, she said, I will never remove this unless he can see, I will not see. So for the rest of her life, she tied a strap around her eyes and denied herself sight, which she naturally had. So two blind people. One was bad enough, isn't it? Pandu married Kunti and he also took another wife, Madri, the princess of Madra, and Kunti, the daughter of Kunti Bhoja or adopted daughter of Kunti Bhoja, who grew up as Pritha and later on became Kunti, who is Krishna's aunt. She married Pandu. Pandu went hunting and